How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to a new video. Today I thought of a random idea during the week that actually sounded pretty fun to make a video about. I'm going to be making a half-yearly report like you get in school, but for 2020, like this year. I'm going to be talking about a bunch of different subjects that 2020 is in and see how well they grade in those. So yeah, I thought this would be a fun idea because, 2020 hasn't been the best year, so I wanted to see how low the grade they will be. So we're going to figure this out. Let me read out the different subjects that 2020 is going to be marked on. So the first subject is music, TV shows, movies, sport, social media, YouTube, deaths during that year, memes, natural events, and video games. So yeah, let's get into the subjects. Alright, 2020's first subject. Let's see how well they go in music. Now, this year's actually been alright for music. Even though everyone's been having to stay home and it's been a crazy year, there's still been lots of music coming out, especially in the rap community and things like that, because that's mainly what I listen to. And a lot of good albums have been released, like Eminem's album, Lil Baby's album, DaBaby's album. Eternal Take Drop after 2 years of waiting. It was alright. The PTSD album by G Herbo. Don Toliver's album, he's a good newer rapper that's coming out. And obviously Pop Smoke's album, which was actually really good, but sadly, he passed away, and that was a very bad part of 2020. But music, obviously there's a lot more different music, but I don't really listen to any other genres, so you could comment down below what other albums or songs came out that were really good or really popular that came out this year that could give themselves a higher, grade in music. But with all the stuff I've listened to, it's actually been pretty good, so I'm going to give music a C+ for 2020 half-yearly report. Alright, the second subject is TV shows released during the year. Now, obviously there's not as much a big audience of actual commercial real TV. It's mainly Netflix and other streaming services these days, but a lot of new good TV shows released on Netflix and on Stan and stuff like that. But a couple of the most popular ones were, Outer Banks, The Last Dance, which is a documentary, but I watched it. It was actually really good. And there's a new Netflix show that came out this year called Control Z. It's actually really good. You should check it out. But there's obviously a bunch more. I just wanted to name a couple. But TV shows, I'd actually give it a B for 2020 in TV shows. That's pretty good. So yeah, shows that came out this year, pretty entertaining. Okay, new movies that were released in 2020. Now obviously since March, cinemas have been closed up until since then. So there haven't been many actual box office movies that have been able to release. But obviously this Netflix and other streaming services, just like the TV shows and movies come out there as well. A couple of the actual box office movies that came out was the Sonic movie, which was delayed from last year because it looked very bad and there was a lot of backlash about how it looked. And also there was a new horror movie that came out called The Invisible Man. It's actually pretty good. The new Bad Boys movie came out after years of the other one. It was actually pretty good, with Will Smith. So yeah, and also a new Netflix movie was released not long ago called The Five Bloods with the actor from Black Panther. That was really good as well. So yeah, movie D+ because not many were able to release because of staying at home and cinemas being closed, but a D+ is alright for that happening. So yeah, D+ in movies. Now with sport. Obviously for a long time, sport games all over the world, different leagues and different contests were cancelled or delayed or being played without fans at the moment. And obviously near the beginning of the year, Kansas City won the Super Bowl, which was very big with Mahomes being a standout player that season. Luckily, NFL was able to finish their season before everything happened. But leagues like the NBA, like the Premier League and La Liga, different football leagues, and the Olympics were all delayed. EPL has gone back, and many of the soccer leagues have gone back, but NBA is still yet to come back. And that was going to be a good finals, because there was going to be the two LA teams getting the finals and the Bucks with Giannis in it, and it was going to be a good finals. But I'm not sure when NBA is coming back, but hopefully soon. It was like delayed and cancelled a lot. But with the Olympics and the Euros actually being delayed not till next year, I'm gonna have to give it a C-. Not all of it is actually cancelled and never gonna happen. That will be better, but C- for sport. Now, social media is an interesting subject, because obviously way more people have been spending way more time on social media because of quarantine and lockdown and staying home. So apps like Instagram, apps like TikTok have been getting way more users and way more, people posting and trying to become influencers on those apps. But especially TikTok, it's become one of the most popular social media platforms in the whole world. There's so many. It's pretty easy to get a video a lot of views on likes on TikTok, because it's mainly down to luck. The algorithm on TikTok is very catered towards anyone, so anyone can go famous or go viral on that app. It's just all down to luck pretty much. If you guys want me to make a video about TikTok and the people on it and how the algorithm and stuff works, I will make a video if you guys want to see that. But also like Instagram, way more people are starting to try and become like Instagram models and influencers, and there's no problem with that, because I guess if you're stuck home you might as well try something like that. But yeah, social media, I'd actually give it a B, because TikTok, there's a bad reputation with it, with all the cringe, but there's actually some funny people on that app. So yeah, I'm gonna give social media a B. Now, YouTube has been like the thing that's been carrying a lot of people through quarantine right now. There's so many entertaining YouTubers that have started to upload more, or just keeping you through the week, giving you entertainment for the day or for the week. There's obviously a lot posting more, and a lot of people starting YouTube because of staying home. But YouTubers like KSI, who started to upload daily on his second channel, very entertaining. Flight uploading heaps almost every single day, and he's starting his 1v1s again. So entertaining. He's such a loyal and great fan base. Danny Duncan with his hilarious funny videos, and with all his friends, he's still doing his vlogs that are really entertaining to watch. And also in that same category, Danny Duncan, we got Balin Levine. He's a bit smaller, but he's grown heaps this year, and he's almost at 1 million, so you guys can go check him out if you want. But he's also really entertaining. There's obviously way more that I can't really name in this video, because I don't want to stretch it out too much, but there's a lot of underrated and good YouTubers, like this guy Polosaurus Rex. I've been watching him since like 100k. He's so funny, and this year especially, he's been uploading very consistently on 3 different channels, and there's a lot of people like that. So YouTube has been great this year, so I'm going to give YouTube an A, because it's been like one of the main things carrying a lot of people through quarantine and lockdown, and it's very helpful towards happiness in these times, and also entertainment. So yeah, YouTube gets an A. Now, time for the bad subject, deaths. I wanted to do this because I wanted to bring light to the people that lost their lives, obviously from coronavirus and stuff like that. So many people lost their lives, and that's gonna bring the mark down way more. Obviously, with the protests and George Floyd and all the Black Lives Matter, some people died from that as well, which is obviously really tragic. But should never happen. Racism is a terrible thing. I stand for the Black Lives Matter movement. But also, along with those tragic deaths, we also have a couple of famous people that were young and should not have died anywhere near the age they did. Like Kobe Bryant, obviously one of the greatest basketball players to ever play. Him and 7 other people, including his daughter and the pilot and other people in that helicopter, that obviously died in the tragic crash. Very sad. And also Pop Smoke, how I talked about before, the rapper. He also was murdered earlier this year, which is terrible. And also Logan Williams, the young actor from the show The Flash, which is tragic. So I'm giving deaths an F. It's a fail. Way too many people have died that should not have. We've now got memes, my favorite subject. Obviously, if you watch my last video, I included a lot of new memes from this year, and there was actually some good memes this year, but a lot of them like have died pretty fast, you know, like most memes do. But you know, great memes this year include like Walter, they include the Doge meme, Solowski, or the Mike Wazowski Sully meme. You know, a bunch of good ones. I can't think of many off the top of my head, but I'll be putting some on the screen right here. Lots of great funny memes.
Whoa! Yankee with no brim!
All over Instagram, you know, Reddit, on TikTok. Yeah, well, memes, I'm gonna give memes a B+. They're pretty good. I reckon last year, around this time last year, the memes were slightly better, but they're alright this year, you know. It's respectable. B+, yeah, that's respectable. Alright, here we've got natural events. Now, the big one, obviously, is coronavirus. But I don't know if I'll count that as natural events, but I don't know what else I would put the whole, you know, pandemic in. So I'm just gonna put it in the natural events one. Coronavirus obviously affected the whole world so heavily. It's been like that for months. There's been the lockdown. Staying home for months, staying in lockdown, not being able to do just normal everyday things. And obviously, coronavirus came with a lot of deaths, which is so sad. But coronavirus is obviously going to just bring this one down to an F straight away. And along with that, there was the Australian fires and floods. Now, the Australian fires burned on for so many days. It burned down so much wildlife. It killed a lot of local animals, and I'm from Australia. This was so hard to see and so hard to experience, just knowing what was happening. So obviously natural events this year have just been terrible. There's probably been other ones that I'm not mentioning. I'm sorry if I haven't mentioned any that you all know about, but for natural events, that's an F, you know, because counting coronavirus, it's got to be an automatic F. Okay, we're up to the last subject, which is video games. It's actually been a pretty good year for video games so far, in half yearly. You know, there was Animal Crossing on the Nintendo Switch that just went so viral. Everyone started playing it. I haven't played it myself because I don't have a Nintendo Switch, but apparently it's really good and really fun. And obviously, probably the biggest new game of the year was Call of Duty, and you know, with the game mode of Warzone, everyone playing that became really popular. I don't play it myself, but apparently it's really hard, but apparently really fun as well. And I've seen other people play it. I've seen how it can be fun. It's blown up so much. I understand why. It looks really fun. Warzone, you know, is a bit like a battle royale game, obviously, and it's done really well. I've seen that, you know, people play it. I've seen how to play it. It looks really fun.
Fuck shotguns! Never again! Never again, man!
And also a newer game called Valorant, which is a pretty cool game. It's kind of like Overwatchy CSGO kind of game. Looks really fun. Also, I haven't played that myself, but
know where they're at! It's just all about this. I've been playing Counter-Strike for 20 years. I know my mouse sensitivity. I know how to be so precise with my game. Stop moving. Just crouch and just sit there and just wait. God, all my games.
These new games that came out this year have been really good, so Obviously, I can't name every new video game that's come out this year, like, that would take a whole day. But if there's some big ones that I missed out, some really good ones I missed out, maybe you want me to play them, just leave them down in the comments. But for video games this year, I'm gonna give it a B. A B sounds good for video games this year. Overall, 2020 hasn't been that great. You know, with all the pandemic stuff going around, with people dying, lots of bad things just happening around the world, especially with the protests about the Black Lives Matter movement. That sucks. Racism sucks. But overall, 2020, I'm gonna give it a D-. I know that's really bad, but probably 2020 has been one of the worst years in a long time. There's been just so much stuff that's happened that just no one would have expected. Everyone was thinking, you know, 2020, new year, gonna be great, might be the best year of my life. It still can be, but there's just been so much mainstream stuff that's happened that just, you know, kind of ruins the year for me. But half yearly, yeah, it's a D- overall. Some of them, like, you know, TV shows, you know, video games, music, like those were still good because it wasn't really as affected by coronavirus as some of the other stuff like sport. But it's only half yearly, so maybe in the second half of the year it can improve. And obviously this first half of the year has been carried by new YouTubers like Flight, Danny Duncan, and I'm Finished, some great, really popular, nice YouTubers. Anyway, if you enjoyed watching, maybe you want me to do a full yearly one at the end of the year. If this does well, I might do that. If you enjoyed the video, please like it. That would really help me out. And also subscribe if you're new here. I'm trying to get to 30 subscribers. That would be great. Anyway, thanks for watching. Check out my new video when it comes out, or check out any video on my page. You might enjoy some. Thanks for watching. I'm Finished.